First contact under fire. The iridescent crystalline dome of the Lumini research station shimmered against the backdrop of swirling purple gas clouds. Inside, lead researcher Aura 9 hovered anxiously over her instruments, her bioluminescent form pulsing with concern. The station's sensors had detected something unprecedented, a massive energy surge from an unexplored sector of space, followed by a desperate transmission in an unknown language. Before she could analyze the signal further, the station's emergency alerts blazed to life. 3 Void Hunter vessels had emerged from quantum space, their obsidian hulls absorbing all light that touched them. The Lumini, a species that had evolved from pure energy and light, had never developed weapons. Their civilization focused on art, science, and the manipulation of quantum fields. Now that pacifistic nature had left them defenseless. All personnel, initiate emergency protocols. Aura 9 broadcast across the station's quantum network. Prepare for immediate evacuation. But she knew escape was unlikely. The Void Hunters had already destroyed 6 Lumini research outposts in the past cycle, harvesting their quantum cores, and leaving no survivors. The first blast from the Void Hunters' weapons struck the station's outer shields, causing the protective barrier to flicker dangerously. Aura 9 watched in horror as the second shot prepared to fire, but it never came. Instead, a new ship appeared between the station and the Void Hunters, its hull bearing unfamiliar markings and a distinctly utilitarian design. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Science Vessel Horizon," a voice crackled through the station's communications array. "We picked up your distress signal. Looks like we arrived just in time." The Void Hunters, momentarily surprised by the intervention, redirected their weapons toward the human vessel. Their energy weapons lanced out, expecting to slice through the primitive-looking ship. Instead, their beams scattered off the Horizon's hull in a spectacular display. "Fascinating," the ship's science officer, Dr. James Kumar, remarked as he studied the readings. "Their weapons operate on a quantum disruption principle, but our hull's crystalline lattice structure, designed to withstand stellar phenomena during our research, seems to naturally diffract the energy." Captain Chen smiled grimly. "Let's show them why it's unwise to attack a human research vessel. Deploy the solar observation drones, a swarm of small, robust devices, originally designed to study the hearts of stars, emerged from the Horizon's launch bays. These drones, hardened against extreme radiation and magnetic fields, now served a different purpose. They surrounded the Void Hunter vessels, their powerful magnetic fields interfering with the Raiders' quantum weapon harmonics. "Your weapons may be advanced," Chen broadcast to the attackers, "but they're useless if they can't maintain quantum coherence. Now about those shields of yours. They're impressive, but I wonder how they handle good old-fashioned kinetic energy." The Horizon's material sampling arrays, normally used to collect stellar matter, reversed their function. A barrage of hyper-accelerated particles, nothing more than common hydrogen and helium, struck the Void Hunter shields at near-relativistic speeds. The impact overwhelmed their defensive systems, designed to resist energy weapons but not simple physical force. "Impossible," one of the Void Hunters transmitted as their shields failed. "You're using research equipment as weapons." "That's humanity for you," Chen replied. "We're scientists first, but we've learned to be creative when threatened. I suggest you leave while you can still quantum tunnel, and spread the word. This sector is now under human protection." The Void Hunters retreated, their previously intimidating ships now limping away through quantum space. Inside the Lumini station, Aura 9 watched in amazement as the human vessel approached. Her species had encountered many civilizations, but none quite like this. "Captain Chen," she transmitted, her thoughts translating through the communication system. "You defended us with tools of science rather than weapons of war. My people have much to learn from yours." "And we have much to learn from you," Chen responded, studying the beautiful quantum architecture of the Lumini station. "Humanity has always believed that science and exploration are the keys to understanding the universe. We just sometimes have to get creative about how we apply that knowledge. As the Horizon's crew began helping the Lumini repair their station, neither species realized that this unlikely first contact would soon reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. The Void Hunters had finally encountered something they didn't understand, a species that could turn the pursuit of knowledge into an art of defense and scientific curiosity into a shield for the innocent. The quantum cores of the Lumini station pulsed with new patterns as human engineers worked alongside their energy-based allies, combining Earth ingenuity with Lumini quantum mastery. This was just the beginning of a partnership that would change everything. Not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through the simple human traits of creativity, adaptability, and the determination to protect others. Engineering the impossible. The massive hangar of the Horizon buzzed with activity as human engineers worked alongside floating orbs of Lumini energy. 3 weeks had passed since the first encounter, and the research vessel had become an unlikely fusion of two vastly different technologies. Captain Chen stood on the observation deck, watching Dr. Kumar demonstrate Earth metallurgy to a fascinated group of Lumini scientists. The quantum harmonics in your hull design are unlike anything we've encountered, pulsed Aura 9, her light form shifting through shades of blue and gold. But they're so primitive compared to our technology. Sometimes primitive is exactly what we need, Chen replied, tapping the reinforced viewport. Your quantum technology is incredible, but the Void Hunters know how to counter it. They've never faced simple physics applied cleverly. Below them, engineers were modifying the Horizon's solar observation drones with Lumini quantum cores. The small devices now glowed with internal energy, their Earth-built shells containing power that defied conventional physics. It was a perfect metaphor for the Alliance itself. Human ingenuity protecting and focusing Lumini advancement. New contact. The bridge crew's alert interrupted their discussion. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Void Hunter configuration, but different. The main screen showed 5 vessels emerging from quantum space. Their design had evolved, incorporating irregular patterns that mimic the Horizon's crystalline hull structure. The Void Hunters had adapted. They learned fast, Chen muttered, but she was already smiling. Good thing we learned faster. Dr. Kumar, are the quantum resonance projectors ready? Ready, Captain, Kumar responded from the engineering bay. Though I still say it's crazy to use quantum entanglement for this purpose. The Void Hunters struck first, their modified weapons expecting to penetrate the Horizon's defenses. Instead, their energy beams passed straight through the ship, hitting nothing but hollow projections. The real Horizon and the Lumini station had shifted slightly out of phase with normal spacetime, a trick made possible by combining human phase shift research with Lumini quantum manipulation. Impossible. The Void Hunter transmission carried genuine fear. No species can achieve quantum phase shifting at this scale. No single species could, Chen replied, watching as the hybrid drones swarmed around the enemy ships. But together, we're rewriting what's possible. Dr. Kumar, demonstrate our latest innovation. The drones activated their new quantum cores, creating a complex web of entangled energy fields. The Void Hunters found their quantum weapons becoming increasingly erratic as the space around their ships filled with competing quantum states. It was like trying to tune a radio with 1,000 stations broadcasting on the same frequency. Fascinating, Aura 9 observed, her form brightening with excitement. You've weaponized quantum uncertainty itself. The mathematical elegance is beautiful. That's humans for you, Chen grinned. We see beauty in the chaos. Speaking of chaos, activate the gravity pulse arrays. The Horizon's gravity wave detectors, originally designed to study black holes, reversed their function. Waves of gravitational distortion rippled through space, their frequencies calculated to interact with the quantum interference field. The Void Hunter's ships began to twist and distort as space itself became unreliable around them. This is your final warning, Chen broadcast. We've proven we can match every advancement you make. Leave peaceful species alone or face the consequences of challenging human creativity combined with Lumini science. As the enemy ships retreated, their quantum drives struggling against the distorted space-time, Kumar joined Chen on the bridge. "Captain, the Void Hunters will be back. They'll find ways around these tricks, too." "Of course they will," Chen nodded. "That's why we need to push our collaboration further. Aura 9, your people understand quantum mechanics in ways we can barely comprehend. We offer the practical experience of surviving on a death world, of turning nature's challenges into advantages. Together, we might just revolutionize space combat through science rather than warfare." Aura 9 pulsed thoughtfully, using understanding rather than pure force. "My people have always believed knowledge is the greatest power in the universe. Perhaps we needed humans to show us how to apply that knowledge defensively." The hybrid drones returned to their bays, their quantum cores humming with potential. Throughout the ship, humans and Lumini continued their work, each new innovation combining the best of both species. They were creating something unprecedented, a defense force built on scientific principles and human determination, powered by the advanced quantum mastery of the Lumini. "The Void Hunters think they can out-evolve us," Chen said, watching a team install new quantum-enhanced sensors. "But they don't understand what they're really fighting. They're not facing human weapons or Lumini technology. They're facing the true power of the universe, the unrelenting pursuit of knowledge, driven by the need to protect others. And that's something that will never stop evolving." Battle of the Nebula. The Crimson Nebula lived up to its name, its vast clouds of ionized gas casting a blood-red glow across the bridge of the horizon. What had once been a single research vessel had evolved into the flagship of an unconventional fleet. 5 other Earth science ships had joined them, each modified with Lumini quantum technology and crewed by both species. "Multiple quantum signatures detected in the nebula," reported Lieutenant Maria Santos, her hands dancing across the sensor array. "The Void Hunters are using the ionic interference to mask their approach." Captain Chen nodded, studying the swirling patterns of gas and energy. The nebula should have been perfect cover for an ambush. But the Void Hunters had forgotten one crucial detail. Human scientists had centuries of experience studying phenomena that tried to kill them. "Dr. Kumar, initialize the stellar mapping array," Chen ordered. "Let's show them why hiding in a nebula against astrophysicists is a bad idea." The array, designed to chart stellar phenomena, began scanning the nebula's complex magnetic fields. Every ship's movement created subtle disturbances in the plasma, invisible to normal sensors, but clear as day to instruments meant to study solar flares and cosmic storms. "Aura 9, are the quantum resonance fields ready?" Chen asked the Lumini science officer, who hovered near the main controls, her energy form rippling with anticipation. "Ready, Captain." Though I must note that using quantum entanglement to destabilize plasma is theoretically impossible. Theoretically impossible is humanity's specialty, Chen smiled. "Execute Operation Solar Wind." The 6 Earth vessels moved into formation, their modified sensor arrays creating a complex web of quantum-enhanced detection fields. The nebula's natural plasma flows began to shift, guided by precisely calculated gravitational pulses and magnetic field manipulations. "Void Hunter Fleet detected," Kumar announced. 12 ships advancing in attack formation. They're charging weapons. "They still think this is about firepower." Chen shook her head. "Show them what happens when you ignore basic astrophysics." The human Lumini fleet activated their quantum resonance fields simultaneously. The effect was immediate and spectacular. The nebula's plasma, already energized by stellar radiation, became quantum entangled across vast distances. The Void Hunters suddenly found themselves trying to navigate through space that behaved like a liquid crystal display gone mad. "Enemy vessels are losing quantum field coherence," Santos reported. "Their advanced drives can't compensate for the plasma distortions." "Now for the real surprise," Chen ordered. "Activate the magnetic bottle containment systems." The equipment, originally designed to capture and study solar plasma, now served a more tactical purpose. Streams of superheated plasma, guided by quantum-enhanced magnetic fields, surrounded the Void Hunter vessels. Their advanced shields, calibrated for energy weapons and conventional attacks, struggled against the fundamental forces of nature itself. "This is impossible." The Void Hunter commander's transmission crackled through the chaos. "No one can control plasma fields with this precision." "You're half right," Chen responded. "No one species can. But we're not one species anymore. We're human determination combined with Lumini understanding. We're what happens when you force scientists to think like warriors." The battle that followed wasn't fought with traditional weapons. It was fought with stellar phenomena, quantum fields, and the complex dance of fundamental forces. Human scientists, who had spent careers studying how to survive nature's most violent phenomena, worked in perfect synchronization with Lumini quantum masters who could manipulate the fabric of reality itself. Void Hunter ships found their quantum drives disrupted by precisely calculated plasma waves. Their advanced sensors were overwhelmed by artificial magnetic storms that mimicked solar flares. Every attempt to adapt was met with a new application of natural law, wielded with the precision of scientific instruments and the creativity of survival-hardened humans. 3 enemy vessels disabled, Santos reported. The others are attempting to retreat, but the plasma currents are making quantum tunneling impossible. They're not used to fighting the laws of physics themselves, Kumar observed. All their advanced technology means nothing when space itself becomes unpredictable. But victory came with a cost. The Horizon's quantum core was showing signs of strain, its hybrid systems pushed to their limits. Throughout the fleet, other vessels reported similar issues. They had won this battle, but the Void Hunters would adapt again. "Captain," Oranine's voice carried unusual urgency. "I'm detecting unusual quantum signatures from the disabled Void Hunter vessels. Their patterns, they remind me of something from ancient Lumini records." "What kind of records?" Chen asked, noting the concern in her science officer's fluctuating light patterns. "Records of our own origins," Oranine replied softly. "Captain, I believe we've stumbled upon something far more significant than a simple conflict. The Void Hunters, they might be connected to the greatest mystery in Lumini history." As the nebula's red light bathed the bridge in an eerie glow, Chen realized this battle might have been just the beginning. They had proven that human ingenuity combined with Lumini science could overcome any technological advantage. But now, it seemed, they faced something far more complex than a mere technological arms race. The real mystery was only beginning to unfold. The heart of the storm. Deep within the captured Void Hunter vessel, Dr. Kumar's handheld scanner cast shadows across walls that seemed to absorb light itself. Captain Chen followed close behind, while Oranine's luminescent form provided both light and real-time quantum analysis. The ship's corridors felt wrong somehow, as if they were walking through something that wasn't quite solid matter. "These readings are extraordinary," Kumar muttered, adjusting his scanner settings. "The ship's hull isn't just absorbing light, it's absorbing quantum information itself. It's like a black hole for probability states. That's why they were so interested in our quantum cores." Oranine pulsed softly, her glow dimming as she processed the data. "But these patterns, they're corrupted versions of ancient Lumini quantum signatures." The discovery had led to this dangerous mission, a covert operation into Void Hunter territory. The Horizon, now enhanced with captured stealth technology, had tracked the raiders to their home system, a place that defied conventional physics. The local star was wrong, its light somehow incomplete, as if parts of its spectrum had been deliberately removed. "Central chamber ahead," Santos reported through their quantum-encrypted comms. She was monitoring them from the Horizon, using the ship's modified sensors to penetrate the strange vessel's structure. "But these readings, Captain, it's like looking through a fractured mirror of space-time itself." The chamber door didn't so much open as cease to exist temporarily, another example of the Void Hunters' bizarre technology. Inside, they found what looked like a command center, but instead of conventional controls, The room was filled with crystalline structures that pulsed with dark energy. "No," Aura 9 gasped, her form flickering with shock. "These are Lumini memory crystals, but they're wrong, inverted." Kumar's scanner began picking up massive data streams. "These aren't just memory crystals. They're still active, still connected to something." He paused, frowning at his readings. "Captain, I'm detecting temporal anomalies. Whatever these crystals are recording, it's not just happening in our time." Chen approached one of the crystals, noting how its dark surface seemed to ripple at her proximity. "Aura 9, you said these patterns reminded you of Lumini records. What exactly did you mean?" The Lumini scientists' form pulsed with complex patterns of light that the humans had learned to recognize as deep concern. According to our oldest records, the Lumini weren't always beings of pure energy and light. We evolved from a different state of existence, but the records are fragmented, speaking of a great catastrophe, a choice that split our species. Kumar's scanner suddenly beeped urgently. "Captain, these crystals, they're starting to align with Aura 9's quantum signature. It's like they're recognizing her." The chamber's crystals began to pulse in sequence, and suddenly the air itself seemed to tear open. Through the rift, they saw images. Ancient Lumini, not beings of light, but creatures of shadow and void, conducting experiments with the fundamental forces of the universe. They watched as a catastrophic accident split their civilization, some becoming beings of pure energy and light, others transforming into creatures of darkness and quantum void. "The Void Hunters," Chen breathed. "They're not just your enemies. They're your lost siblings." "Not lost," a new voice echoed through the chamber, as dark as Aura 9 was bright. A Void Hunter commander materialized from the shadows, its form a nightmarish inverse of Lumini energy. "Evolved. We embraced the void between realities, learned to harvest quantum information itself. While our light-bound siblings played with creation, we mastered destruction." "But why attack now?" Chen demanded, noting how both Kumar and Aura 9 had positioned themselves to cover different angles. "After all this time?" "Because they found you," the commander replied. "Humans, a species that can survive anywhere, adapt to anything. When we saw how you could channel Lumini quantum science through primitive technology, we knew you were the key. Your bodies can survive the transformation process. With your adaptation abilities and our quantum mastery, we could become something new, something perfect." "You want to use humans as a bridge," Kumar realized, horror dawning in his voice. "To force a re-merger of your species through our biology. The ultimate evolution," the commander confirmed. "Your bodies, our mastery of void, our siblings' command of light, all unified. Of course, most humans wouldn't survive the process, but you're numerous enough to serve as adequate test subjects." Chen's expression hardened. "You forgot something important about humans. We don't just survive. We protect. And we definitely don't volunteer for mad science experiments." "Your permission is irrelevant," the commander started to say, but Chen was already moving. "Kumar, now," she ordered. The scientist activated a device they'd prepared, a modified quantum field generator that created a localized version of the nebula effect. The chamber's crystals began to resonate chaotically, their dark energy patterns disrupted by competing quantum states. "Impossible," the commander raged. "You can't control quantum fields with such primitive technology." "We don't need to control them," Chen smiled grimly. "We just need to make them random enough. Humanity's secret weapon isn't control, it's chaos." The chamber erupted into a storm of competing quantum states, light and darkness clashing as ancient technologies awakened to their original frequencies. The humans had gambled everything on one crucial fact. In a battle between order and chaos, chaos usually wins. As reality itself seemed to buckle around them, Chen realized they had discovered something far more important than a weapon. They had found the key to healing an ancient wound in the galaxy, if they could survive long enough to use it. Evolution's children. The Horizon's bridge shuddered as another quantum shockwave rippled through space-time. Captain Chen gripped her command chair, watching as reality itself seemed to tear apart around them. The Void Hunters had launched their desperate final attack, bringing their entire fleet to bear against the human Lumini Alliance. Hull quantum resonance at critical levels, Kumar reported, his fingers flying across modified sensor arrays. The dimensional barriers are breaking down. They're trying to force the merger. Around the ship, space itself had become a battlefield of light and shadow. The Void Hunters had activated ancient technology that began breaking down the barriers between quantum states, attempting to forcibly reunify their species with the Lumini, using human ships as conducting vessels. Aura 9. Chen called out to her science officer, who was maintaining a protective quantum field around the bridge. Your people's records, did they say anything about how the original split was stopped? The Lumini's form flickered with complex patterns as she accessed ancient memories. The records speak of a great channeling, a moment when both sides pushed their power to the absolute limit. The resulting quantum cascade forced the split into its final state. So they overloaded, Kumar said thoughtfully, his scientific mind racing, like a circuit breaker tripping to prevent a surge. Captain, I have an idea, but it's... Let me guess, Chen smiled grimly. Theoretically impossible. More like practically insane, Kumar replied. We need to overload their quantum merger attempt, not by fighting it, but by amplifying it. Push it so far that reality itself rejects the change. Like forcing an immune response from space-time, Santos suggested from her station, where she was coordinating with the rest of the fleet. Exactly. But we'll need more power than we've ever channeled before. Every ship, every quantum core, all pushed beyond their limits. Chen looked out at the chaos surrounding them. The Void Hunters' attempt to force evolution was tearing apart the fabric of space itself. Sometimes, the only way to stop an explosion was to make it too big to sustain itself. Send the orders to the fleet, she commanded. All ships, prepare for quantum core overload. Aura 9, we'll need every Lumini to channel their energy into the network. Kumar, reconfigure our cores to accept maximum power and disable all the safeties. The response was immediate. Throughout the fleet, humans and Lumini worked in perfect synchronization. Research vessels designed to study the universe were about to be used to manipulate its fundamental laws. Every piece of scientific equipment, every sensor array, every quantum core was pushed to its absolute limit. Void Hunter Fleet is responding, Santos reported. They're increasing power to their dimensional rifts. Quantum readings are off the scale. They think we're trying to resist the merger, Kumar said, monitoring the rapidly building energy levels. They don't realize we're actually helping it happen, just not the way they planned. Chen opened a channel to all ships. This is what humanity does best. We don't just survive the impossible, we turn it into something new. All ships, on my mark, channel everything you have into the quantum network. The moment of truth arrived in a cascade of light and shadow. Every ship in the human fleet, their systems enhanced by Lumini quantum science, poured power into the dimensional rifts. The Void Hunters, sensing the massive energy surge, did exactly what Kumar had predicted. They pushed back harder, trying to force their version of the merger. Space itself began to buckle under the strain. But instead of fighting the chaos, the human fleet rode it like a wave. Their scientists had spent centuries studying how to work with natural forces rather than against them. Now, those lessons would save them all. Quantum cascade initiating. Kumar shouted over the sound of straining systems. Field coherence is... Wait, Captain, something's happening. In the space between ships, where light and shadow fought for dominance, a new phenomenon emerged. The quantum fields, pushed beyond their limits, began to stabilize themselves in an entirely unexpected way. Instead of a forced merger or a violent separation, the energy found a natural balance point. The Void Hunters' dark matter forms began to shift, not into the nightmarish amalgamations they had planned, but into something that bridged the gap between light and shadow. The Lumini too were changing, their pure energy forms gaining new depth and complexity. "They're evolving," Aura-9 observed in wonder, her own form shifting with new patterns of light and shadow. But naturally, at their own pace. The quantum overflow. It's allowing both species to find their own path forward. "Not just them," Kumar added, checking his readings. "The human ships. Our quantum cores have been permanently altered. We've all been changed by this." The dimensional rifts began to seal themselves as the new quantum state stabilized. Where there had been two species locked in conflict, there was now a spectrum of possibility. The Void Hunters found they could shift between light and shadow at will, while the Lumini gained the ability to interact with physical matter in entirely new ways. And humanity, they had gained something perhaps even more valuable, a deeper understanding of the quantum nature of reality itself, and the knowledge that adaptation didn't always mean conflict. "Send to all ships," Chen ordered, watching as the last rifts sealed themselves. "Stand down from emergency protocols. Begin damage assessment, and prepare to assist any vessels in need, including former Void Hunter ships." As the fleet regrouped in the now calm sector of space, Chen reflected on how far they had come. What had started as a simple rescue mission had evolved into something that would change the course of 3 species forever. Not through warfare or forced evolution, but through the very things that had always defined humanity: curiosity, adaptability, and the willingness to face the impossible with nothing but ingenuity and determination. "So," Kumar asked, looking at the transformed ships around them, "what do we study next?" Chen smiled. In the end, that was the most human question of all. Not what to conquer or control, but what to learn and understand. "Everything," she replied. "We study everything."